Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are committed to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And as the situation with Charlie Kirk continues to be trending and ramped up for being an important event in the history of the United States of America, I just want to say that Black people didn't have anything to do with this. And I don't understand why HBCUs are under threat. My own college, Alabama State University, has had to suspend classes because they're under some kind of threat. And other HBCUs are too. Black people didn't have anything to do with this. And this tells you a lot about America. Now, the person that they call a person of interest is a white person. So this is white on white crime. How did Black people get involved in this? Other than that, many Black people are expressing non-sympathy for Charlie Kirk because he had non-sympathy for Black people. He made no effort to understand the plight of Black people. I think Black people have behaved responsibly in this. I think, like everybody else should be doing, I think Black people are waiting to see who is responsible. This man was in Utah, a state that has 1.2% Black people. So it is overwhelmingly a white state with a lot of hate groups headquartered there. So if he's not going to be safe in Utah, where is he going to be safe? And it's very telling that they want to flip the script and involve Black people rather than acknowledge that the call came from inside the house. This came from their own people. So I believe that Black people are handling this as responsibly as we can because there are wild cards among us too. And there are people that's going to say what they want to say. They don't care what anybody says. But I think overall, Black people are responding responsibly. Many Black people with large platforms have said nothing. Some have expressed astonishment that something like this could happen. Some are indifferent and said, okay, I'm going shopping. And then there are those who saying, I really don't feel sympathy. So I'm not sure what it is that America would expect. And I'm talking about white Americans who are concerned. I don't know what they would expect of Black people for a man like this. But anyway, some Black institutions are locked down because now all of a sudden Black people are in it. And that again tells you something about America, that the internal strife that they have inside of themselves against the Black people will take precedence over a threat that is coming from their own white people. And that is also astonishing. But listen to this.
3 HBCU campuses have received threats, and just like that, the threat of violence towards Black people has increased within a matter of minutes for something that Black folks weren't responsible for. Southern University and A&M have received threats so severe that they had to go to lockdown, not shelter in, not just stay inside, but a full lockdown, which means that the threats were really significant. Clark Atlanta has issued a shelter in place because of threats that they received. And because Spelman is in close proximity and we can all clearly see where this is going, they have also issued a shelter in place. Bethune-Cookman in a full lockdown. Again, not a shelter in place, a full lockdown, which means that they received significant threats of danger or harm. It's just so interesting to me how it doesn't matter who enacts the violence against people in America. Black people are always going to be unsafe, even when we're not the cause or the reason. And dare I say that this is in large part because of the rhetoric that somebody like Charlie Kirk and y'all president has been spewing for years now.
At some point, America is going to have to deal with this because the fact that they are jealous of Black people, the fact that they're upset that their numbers are dwindling and they feel their power diminishing, that was always going to happen. They have never been the majority in the world. Even though they were a majority in the United States, their procreation rates have always been low. So these things are irreversible. So they can be mad at Black people. They can be mad at immigrants. They can be mad at LGBTQ. They can be mad at white women. They can be mad at anybody they want to be mad at. But at the end of the day, the prophecy is going to unfold the way it's supposed to, and they are not going to be able to stop it. I came across this video, and this young lady gives profound and sober commentary on this situation with Charlie Kirk, and it's food for thought for us to think about as we go through our daily walk. Because you know what? All of us have got to travel the road that Charlie Kirk is traveling. People who have had near death experiences say, as you're going through that transition, you have a life review, and the life you have lived flashes before you. A few years ago, there was a poem called The Dash, and the dash gave your birth date, a dash, and then your death date. And the dash represents how you lived your life. And that is your obituary, that is your eulogy, how you live your life. So listen to this young lady.
All right, so I think this is the only thing I'm going to say about this, like, Charlie Kirk stuff, right? The truth of the matter is that while you have the privilege of life is when you are writing the eulogy. You know what I mean? Like, while you are privileged to be here and to affect others' lives through your actions and your words, what the people see and hear is how they'll eulogize you when you're gone. All of us are getting out of here at some point. And we don't get to make edits to the eulogy. We don't get to say, hey, remember when I did X, Y, and Z. No. You are creating your eulogy while you have the privilege of life. If you do good and you help people who need it, you lift people up, you spread love, you spread positivity, you work for the betterment of all people, people will probably remember you in a pretty positive way. If you spit vitriol and hate and racism and misogyny and, let's just be honest. I mean, he was a grifter. So these were purposely provocative and gross for the clicks, for the rage bait aspect. It's a grifter. He's making money. A YouTuber posting shit to get clicks and shares and to anger people, because then you'll talk about it and you'll engage, right? And so I just think that when that is the life that you wrote, like that's the eulogy you wrote. He was speaking about people who were parents or some loved one when he talked his hatred about other people. So why now do we have to carry some moral responsibility that he did not have? You don't get to make edits to how people eulogize you once you're gone. You're just dead. And people are going to remember you for whatever it is that you put out into the world. Period. The responses that people are giving are their responses to how you lived when you had the privilege of life. That is the way in which you chose to live it. So these responses you wrote.
There is a saying that how you live is how you die. And I was listening to another podcast where someone talked about Proverbs 18:21, which states, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So it highlights that our words can either uplift and encourage or harm and destroy. It's all in the power of your tongue and how you speak over people and over situations. So your tongue can speak good and your tongue can speak evil, and you will reap the rewards of either or both. So it behooves us all to be careful how we speak and to be careful what we allow in our hearts, because out of the heart flows the issues of life. And if you allow your heart to be cluttered with hatred and evil and animosity towards other people, that's what's going to come out. That is what's going to come out. So even as we know that we become targets when we don't deserve to be, let's see how America sorts this out. Let's see how important it is for America to sort these things out. And we need to stay, what do we say? Prayed up. All right, y'all. Let's pray for one another, love one another, and be careful out here in these streets. Thank you for listening, and have a great evening.